Decided to get yourself a puppy that you'd like to raise and train as a protection dog. But the question is, where do you start? What do you do? How do you do it?
In this video, we will be sharing with you where we started, mistakes we've made, and what you can do to avoid them. We will also be giving you some background information on who we are and what to expect from our channel. Hi, I'm Mali and you're watching Our Protection Dogs, a channel devoted to the raising, development and training of protection dogs.
Hi, and I'm Charles. Join us as we help you raise and train your protection dog. Please subscribe so you can keep up with your training.
So I've always had a love for dogs since a child, but never knew how to train them or anything like that. So it basically started for me when I did my psychology degree and I wanted to train pet assisted therapy. So I went on a course which Charles came with to know how to train dogs. So on the course we saw the working dog, especially the protection dogs, and I just knew that that is something I want to do. The excitement, the breed, especially the Belgian Malinois, that really just made me excited. And when I got home, I needed to know more, and I needed to get the information, and I wanted a dog like that.
So for me, at a very young age, growing up with dogs, liking hunting, got my first dog that I would like to have trained myself, was a German short-haired pointer, for bird hunting and falconry. It was a mammoth task at that stage because there wasn't that much information out on dog training in the form of Google or YouTube. I don't even think there was YouTube at that stage, but it was difficult because I always listened to people that said you must do this, you must do that, never questioning why and looking at the psyche of the training. But it's something that always interests me. What happened when Marilee then decided that she would want to do the animal assisted therapy, this also kickstart or triggered me to wanting to do the same, not as animal assisted therapy, but to train dogs. We went for our dog training course, and this put us on a real high. We met a breed called the Belgian Malinois, and then from there it was just all over. We just wanted to do more, and we wanted to train dogs. So after our first course, getting Khaleesi, which is a Belgian Malinois, we later realized that she wasn't really what we wanted. We were looking for a protection dog. Although she was a very well-bred Malinois and she's an awesome dog, she was more into nose work, detection, fantastic detection dog, fantastic tracking, but she really wasn't that much of a biting dog, or what we needed as a biting dog, or what we wanted as a biting dog.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for us, learning curve there, was the training of the dog. We made a lot of mistakes with her, not knowing what to do or where we're going and figuring things out. And we got to a stage where we realized that she is not enjoying the training. And that is, from that day, we always said, you know, the dog needs to enjoy it. That's important to us.
I remember traveling thousands of kilometers. Every weekend that we got, we lived about 4 hours away from the closest city, so we had to travel every weekend to go to different clubs to see the training, maybe also not knowing and doing homework on the kind of training that we were interested in.
We didn't know what we wanted to do or where we're going. You know.
But we did like the sports dog training. We did really like that. And then we had our own pet obedience school back in the town that we lived, and that was doing quite well, but it was never something that we wanted to do. The pet obedience wasn't really something that we wanted to do. We wanted to do the action, the bite dogs, those kind of stuff. I also finished a course in dog behavior, and this even more so got me interested in wanting to do the protection dogs.
And I think we also realized, by looking into the sports training, that made us realize what kind of dog we wanted.
Yeah.
The kind of nerves and the kind of intensity and what we needed. So it made us research dogs and breeds and lines and training and all those things. So that's important as well to remember.
So wanting to discuss the mistakes that we made. Look, there was a lot of mistakes that we made, but I think some of the vital mistakes that we made that we could have avoided if we knew that could have put us into a better position at an early age in our training would have been stuff like, for instance, not enough research. We didn't do enough research in the fact of the breed, the breeders, the lines. You will find that still Malinois there's different lines of Malinois that's been bred, and in all dogs there's different lines. You'll get lines that is more there for show, you get lines there that is more detection kind of dogs, you get lines that there's more prone for protection kind of dogs. And I think this is something that we should have done way more better and put more time and effort in when it came to researching of the actual dogs and of the lines that we were looking at.
Yeah, not just thinking that because it's a Malinois, it will be able to do the protection we wanted.
Yeah. And then the other one I would say is training methods. This is very important with training methods. Although the course that we started on was put us in the right direction, was starting with positive training, using food. This was, and we still use that. We're still up to date. We use that because that really made a lot of sense and the dogs enjoyed that. But basically, going from club to club and from training one trainer to the other trainer made me realize that there's a lot of people that we call yank and crank, which is a lot of like negativity in the dogs. A lot of pressure being put onto the dogs at a very young age. That is something that we didn't know what we were looking at. And we came to realize that if we had to do more research about training and different training methods, we would have avoided that completely as well.
Yeah, and then what's important in the same aspect of the training styles is there's lots of different ways to train a dog, but stick to a method and just see it through. I mean, jumping from one technique to the next, there is no progression there. Some techniques take longer than others, but just stick with one and you will get the end result that you want.
So we jumped around a lot, and you could see that in our dogs, because our dogs were just as confused as we were, because we kept on changing our training techniques, and this is a big mistake that we made. But I also think it boils down to listening to people. And this is where critical thinking and critical reasoning comes into play. Just because you've been training dogs for 50 years doesn't make you a master, because 50 years of bad training stays 50 years of bad training. Just because you're a doctor or you're a scientist doesn't make you right. Yes. And this is something that we had to look at in a different way back then, and should have said, but why are you doing this? Not being arrogant, but explain to me, why are you doing it? Explain to me, why do I have to train the dog like that if the outcome is not what we want? I think those are the kind of things, listening to the wrong people, and a lot of people telling us, oh, because I've been training a dog for 50 years, so that's why you do it. And we were stupid by accepting that that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and even now with the people that come on our road every day, I mean, they end up sometimes at places they're not happy, and luckily for them they change and they go somewhere where they're happy. But some people never do that. They stick with those methods and those training to the detriment of the dog. So once again, I bring up, is the dog enjoying what you are doing? Is it enjoying the training? Is it excited to go to training?
One thing I must say that we never made a mistake with is convenience. It is convenient to drive 5 kilometers down the road and train with that guy because he's close. We wanted the knowledge, we wanted the right knowledge, we wanted that perfection in our dog training, and we weren't going to stop until we get that.
Yeah.
So that was something that we did right. Another thing we did wrong is rushing. We didn't take our time with things, even with our training. Once we started getting the knowledge of training, we wanted to rush things. You know, we wanted that perfect dog when it was only a year old.
Putting too much pressure on them during training, expecting too much of a young mind.
Being egotistical and not researching that training methods and going to the wrong people for training styles that is outdated. that is one thing that was detrimental to a lot of the stuff in our beginning.
Yes.
Okay, so first thing off subject a little bit. When we went through on how to make these YouTube videos, there's one thing that they said, and that was about background noise. So I just want to say we're not going to apologize for the background noise. We dog trainers do dog training full time, so we full time personal protection dogs or sports dog trainings, and there's about 14 dogs in our house, all in crates. So if you hear barking and a commotion and things like that, or a dog jumping up, or the camera going like this. This is a dog video, so it's all related. So we're not really good with the making of movies and stuff like that, but I guarantee you the information is something that you can learn from. Things that we've learned out of the mistakes that we've made, and that was do your homework. That is so important. Research, and do more research. Don't go on one person's hearsay or what one person says. You know what? It's not going to be difficult for you to see that this is a bunch of nonsense that you're just reading now or seeing on a video or stuff like that. Broaden your horizons. Investigate. That is one thing that you have to do. Breeds, training, all that kind of stuff. Research before you just jump into something.
Yeah, and when you are researching your training club or training school you're going to go to, make sure you see the trainer's dogs, that he or she actually brings their dogs out and train with them, and see what the training is like and the quality of the dog is like.
Yeah, we all know that saying, don't trust the skinny chef. Well, don't trust a dog trainer that doesn't have a dog. You need something that you can aspire to, something that you're going to say, wow, I want to know how to do that. I would like to train that to my dog. How did you do that? Well, he can show you how he's done that. That is his advertisement, or hers. That is his or her advertisement. And that brings me to, like, you need a mentor or a couple of mentors. This was very important for us, and our mentors are still very important in our everyday dog training that we do.
And they're active. All of them are actively competing or training in the working field. So they didn't train 30 years ago, they're training now.
Yeah, and they are achieving things now. How many times do we say this, and just because you're a doctor and because you're a scientist, you're supposed to know. And I'm saying this for a second time, but guys, you need to go through, ask questions, have a look, open your eyes. Like Marley said, is the dog happy? Are the dogs happy to be at this training facility? Is the methods that these people are using beneficial to the dog? Does it make sense? That is one thing that you need to ask yourself as well. Then, very, 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 very important. Your dog will know absolutely nothing if you don't put the time and effort into that dog. That is so important. It is not a half an hour a day or 2 hours a day. It could literally mean 5 to 7 minutes in the morning or 5 to 7 minutes in the evening in the beginning. Later this can become 15 minutes in a day or 20 minutes of dog training a day. It's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult to train a dog, at least every second day for that matter. But dogs don't lie. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. And this is something that we've realized is you skip a week and you can see it in your dogs that you have skipped a week of training.
And another very important thing is plan your training sessions.
Oh, yeah.
Like before you start training your dog, know what you're going to do. Don't just wing it. Decide beforehand what you're going to do and then do it. And then you will have much more results and much quicker results in your training.
And then with that is, if you're going to train at a club or at a trainer, Make sure that you're training at a place where there's like-minded people to what your training methods are. People that you can relate to, people that can help you, people that's there not to break you down but to build you up and your dog. People, if you ask a question, that can answer that question. These are the kind of places it's nice to go to a dog training club, but it's not nice to go to a dog training club where you feel uncomfortable the whole time and your dog's not learning anything. You need to go to a place. Remember, you're paying for this. So if you're paying for this, you need to get something out of it. So make sure, if you're not getting anything out of it, it's your fault. What you need to make sure is you need to do the homework on these clubs or these trainers so that you know that you're going to get the just knowledge from them. That is very, very important.
And then don't stop training. Sometimes things get difficult. Sometimes there's stuff that happens that you think, oh, how am I going to fix this? I've completely stuffed this up. And it's usually us, not the dogs. But you can fix it and you can move on, and sometimes things will get worse before they get better. So just be persistent and be consistent.
And then my all-time favorite, if somebody comes to me, it's hard or it's difficult. If you're going to take up a word like it's hard or it's difficult, then you've already lost. Everything in life is hard and difficult. You can make it better by consistently learning and training and developing your own skills so that you can put it into your dog. If you really want to achieve something, if you really want to do this, you'll be able to do it. Just remember, it is difficult, it is hard, but by using that as an excuse, oh, it's raining. Well, you got a living room, don't you? If your living room is only 3 by 3 meters, you can still train in that living room of yours. This is where it comes, plan your training. So it's raining. All right, I'm going to plan my training for today in a 3 by 3 living room. I can train in that area there for my dog. Why not go train in the rain? Let the dog get used to the rain. Put on a damn raincoat and go train in the rain. Why not? So don't come with excuses like it's difficult, because everything is difficult. But over a period of time, you will all of a sudden realize, but wow, look where I started, look where I'm at right now, and then all of a sudden it's like a high. You want more. You just want more and more and more of this. And you're only going to get that by hard work, clever work,
and dedication. And then another important point for me is know your dog. Know what your dog's strengths, weaknesses is. No two dogs are the same.
Train the dog in front of you.
Yes.
Don't force that circle into a square because it's your ego that you're dealing with over here, or because Joe Soap said this is what I need to do. No. Find what your dog is good at and perfect that. Find what your dog is bad at and learn and help him to become good at that. Because remember, this is a team effort. It's you and your dog.
You're a team.
You're a team. Your strengths is his weaknesses and his weaknesses is your strength. We all know that saying. So you need to help your dog. You're there to help him, and he's going to help you in a lot of different ways that you've never even imagined.
And then I think the final point we want to mention here is whoever you end up training with is ask questions, learn, and ask them why they're doing it. If you don't understand something, ask why. And if it's a good trainer, he or she will be able to tell you why they are doing what they are doing.
No dog woke up one morning and decided, I'm going to teach humans how to train us. No. Dog training was started by humans, which explains to me that if a doctor can do an operation by transplanting a heart, or he needs to train people to do that, so he will in detail be able to tell you what he's doing. So in dog training, in detail, we need to know what we are doing. Certain things about a dog's mind and how they think and how they operate, we don't really always understand. But when it comes to training, there's a lot of things there that we do understand. And why are we doing it? Ask them, why are you doing that? What is the reason for doing it? Is this going to come to an outcome with a less stress on the dog? These are all kind of things that we need to know, because we would like to make it clear for the dog, clear for ourselves. First clear for ourselves, then we can give that through to the dog. So please guys, what you need to do is do your research, ask questions, and don't just be convenient 5 kilometers down the road, that's where I'm going to train. Look up for somebody that's going to actually better your knowledge and better your skills, and that's going to be able for you to better your dog.
And then I think the last point that I want to add is keep on learning. I don't think we can ever know everything about dogs. We can't communicate like we communicate with people. So dog training is an evolving thing. So be open-minded and keep on learning.
Do that research. I remember a gentleman said to us one day, there's nothing about dog training you can teach us. And the first video he sent us, I think we kept the video for quite some time because it was really a good laugh to see what the idiotical things he was doing to this poor dog. So you can never ever make a statement like you know everything about dog training, because that is a damn lie. That is a lie. It's evolving. Do the research, keep on learning, keep up with the new techniques, keep up with what people do out there with their dogs. So we would like to introduce you to our dogs. The reason why we're doing this is because we're going to use these names quite regularly, and we would like you to meet our dogs and also know who we talk about, so that it also gives you help and information to see how different the breeds are and what they do. I have a dog called Alpha, which we bred out of our one personal protection female that's in our house, Nix. Alpha is a 38 kilogram male Dutch Shepherd, and he has just finished his PSA 2. Okay, all right, okay. And this is Lily. She's a little Yak Terrier, obviously untrained. But as long as she can sit in my lap and be naughty and look for shit with all the big dogs, she's quite happy. So Alpha has just finished his PSA 2, and we are now training for his PSA 3. He's a 4-year-old Dutch Shepherd male.
And then I've got 2 males that I'm training. I've got Bundy, which we bred ourselves. So he grew up with me his whole life. He's 4 now. He's got his PSA 1. We're busy training for his PSA 2. He's got a lot of speed and power, and he likes to do things right. He doesn't like to make mistakes. He tries really, really hard. He gives his fullest in anything that he does. And then I've got Saar, which is a Belgian Malinois. He is 7 now. I've only had him for 3 years. I got him when he was 4 from a friend of ours from the States. And Saar has got his PSA 2, which we finished off last year, his second leg, and we are now also training with Alpha for our PSA 3.
If I can add, he finished off his PSA 2, that's Saar, in the States at the PSA Nationals. He also came second overall in the PSA 2 level, and he was also selected by the Decoys as the Decoys dog of the tournament, which we are very proud of. Traveling all that way and coming back with trophies was really, really exciting. It is really a highlight in our career of dog training. And then I must introduce you to our 3 girls. So there's Khaleesi, which is our first Malinois. And then there is Nix, which is a Dutch Shepherd female that we imported from Holland, from the KNPV lines. And then there's Africa, who is the daughter of Nix and the sister of Alpha. So those are our 3 fully trained personal protection dogs in the house. And boy, do they
keep us busy.
Keep us busy a lot of times.
And then last but definitely not the least, we've got Groot, which is our son's dog. Liam is 9 and he's training his own dog. Groot is a Belgian Malinois, a little naughty dog. So Groot was a runt of the litter. He was half the size of all the other dogs. He's still small for a male, but he ended up in the bed and in the house and in our hearts. So he kind of stuck around, and so Liam trains his own dog, and he's got his own YouTube channel, Groot the Malinois. I will put the link in the description below, so go have a look at Liam and what he's doing with his dog.
So one of the motivations of creating this channel and making these videos is we are getting a new puppy Now, even for us that deal with puppies every day of our lives and raise and train them, we're getting a new Malinois puppy from a breeder, and we're super excited. His name is Billy Bones, and what we've decided is we're going to take Billy Bones right through his training up to a fully trained dog, and we're going to make videos of this. We like to share these videos with you so that we can help you raise and train your own protection dog.
And this is not the way to do it. This is our way. So if you like our way and our style of training, please have a look at the videos.
None of the methods that we're going to use over here is any method that we invented or that we dreamt out or anything like this. These methods have been there for many, many years. These are methods that we've learned from our different mentors. These are methods that we took that works for us and that we got success out of. And we would like to share this with you. So things to look out for on this channel, videos that we're going to be making, for instance, our how-to videos on certain questions that maybe you have. Put that in the comments below, and we can make videos of it so that we can help you on what to do on your questions. We're also going to have interviews with very interesting people, like for instance vets that specializes in their fields, hips and elbows, skin allergies, nutrition, equipment.
Yeah, that's all some stuff that we've been lining up.
Yeah, so this is the kind of stuff that you're going to be looking out for on our channel. And please, we would like you to join us and be actively involved. We would like to hear from you. We'd like to hear your comments. We would like to hear your questions. And we would like to start off by you telling us where are you sitting with your dog training at the moment and what you are struggling with. So maybe we can start helping you and start formulating videos that we can put together, that we can put on our channel, that's going to help you to understand dog training much better.
If you have not done so already, please like the video, subscribe, and come and train with us.